Right. Hello, students. Now we'll move on to our next topic, that is enumerators in C. Right. So first we'll see what is an enumerator. Enumeration or enum is a user-defined data type in C. Right. So it is our own definition that is available in C. It's mainly used to assign names to integral constants. So I will assign some names. So wherever I want, see, if you assign the numbers, you may forget that numbers, right? But if I write it as a name, then you can easily remember the names. So I'll give some names, and when I use that name, a number will be automatically assigned, right? That is your enumerator. So the names makes a program easy to read and maintain. So by seeing the name or a character, you can able to easily remember what it is, right, instead of a number. So this is going to be the syntax here. So enum is a keyword, is a variable, enum variable. So whatever the variable I want, I can declare here. I can write it here, and here I have an enumeration list. Okay, here I have a list of comma separated enumerators. Right, so when we move on to the example, you can understand. So enum is a keyword, days of week. So I have the days of the week as my variable, and I have a curly braces, and I have here sun, month, Tuesday. These are all the variables. Here if you want, you can write it fully: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It is your wish. Whatever you give here, it is your wish. It is a variables, right? Or you call it as an enumerators. So when you give like this, it automatically substitutes the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here whenever you want for Sunday, what is the value I have written, you need not remember. In the program you can just write Sunday or sun, right? It automatically assigns the value 0. For that only we are using this enumeration, right? So by default, even here I have not given. For your understanding, I have written 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you are not giving any values, the compiler will automatically assign the value starting from 0. So sun equal to 0, 1, 1, 2. If you want to start the week from 1, that also you can do it. You can write here 1, 2, 3, right? So you can write it. We'll see some more examples related to it. Now, variables of type enum can also be defined, and they can be defined in two ways. So here I can declare the variable for this particular enum type. So how to declare the variable here? So here I have our example enum. This is going to be my enum name variable, and here I can declare the variables of type week. Is that clear? So enum week, then I have a curly braces, I have a space followed by my variable. How you will write? Int a you will write it, right? Int a means what? A is going to be of type integer. So here this entire thing is going to be what? It is of type enum. Is that clear? So enum week, and it is going to take 3 enumerators, and then I have a variable, right? So or else you can also write it in the next line, enum week day, right? Now we'll see one small program. Now hash include stdio.h, right? So I can declare it outside the main. So whenever I want, I can use it. You can also declare inside your main, no problem. So enum week, and here I have what? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Here I have not given any values. It automatically takes the values to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that clear? Right? So it starts from 0. So int main, here I have declared a variable day. See, here I have declared my enum. My type is going to be enum. And here I have declared a variable day. And this day I am assigning wed. So here I am using that. I am not using the number. Here I am using the name of the day. So this is assigned to day. Printf %d. So here what value will be the output? Because we know it starts from 0, 0, 1, 2. So when I print day, it is nothing. Day is going to have wed. So the value is going to be 0, 1, 2. So my output will be 2. Is that clear? So whenever I want to have some numbers and I cannot remember that numbers, I can use it in the form of a enumerator. Is that clear? Now I can able to see Wednesday I have assigned to day, but I may not able to remember what number I have given for Wednesday every day, right? So you can create a list like this and you can use it whenever you want, right? Right. So what are all the things you have related to your enumerator, right? Two enum names can have the same value, right? For example, I can have enum state, right? Here I can also have Monday equal to 0, Tuesday equal to 0. No problem. That is what given here. So I have a state, working equal to 10, failed equal to 0, freezed is equal to 0. So I have same value for these two things. Is that clear? Right. If we do not explicitly assign the values, the compiler by default assigns the values starting from 0. That we have already told you. Here also I have not given the values. It automatically takes the values starting from 0. Right? We can assign the values to some name in any order. It is not necessary that I have to start giving the values from 0. Right? I can start either from 5, I can start from 10, I can start from 100. All unassigned names get the value as value of the previous name plus 1. That we will see what is that, right? So now when you see here, I have declared enum day, right? Sun is equal to 1. Here I have not started with 0, I have started with 1, and then I have Monday. Tuesday equal to 5. I have changed the order here, right? 1, 2, 3 only should come, but I can write it as 5. So here 1 means Monday will have the value 2. How? The previous value plus 1. Is that clear? Similarly, Tuesday equal to 5. Wednesday will have the value 6. Thursday equal to 10. Friday will have 11 and Saturday will have the value 12. So this is also possible, right? So that is why we have printed the values. Okay, right. The next point is values assigned to enum names must be some integral constant. It cannot be integer, float, character, etc. And it must be from the range from the minimum possible integer value to maximum possible integer value. It cannot go beyond the maximum limit, right? Right. And all enum constants must be unique in the scope. For example, if I have enum state, here I have two enumerators, working and failed. And here I have another enum result. In that if I have failed, then these two have the same value. In the program if I use failed, then I don't know which failed I need to use. So whatever the enumerators you are using, that has to be constant within, that has to be unique within your scope, right? Now we'll see one example. Hash include stdio.h in enum state. So here I have three variables, working, failed and freezed. And I have one more, I have a variable current state, like how we have declared enum week day, right? Similarly here also you have got enum state, current state. Here I am assigning the value 2, right? Now main program, we'll come to the main program. Int main find state. So it's a function, right? So here whenever I have a function, the control will be transferred to the function. Now this is going to return an enum. The return type is going to be an enum of type state. So enum state. The function is not taking any argument, right? Return current state. I can access current state value. Why? Because it is a global one. I have declared outside. So this function can also access the current state value. You know the current state value is going to be 2. So return 2. 2 will be returned here. Is 2 equal to 1? No, it is false. So if it is false, here we have used a conditional operator. What is a conditional operator? You have a condition, colon, and then you have followed by this. right? This is going to be a conditional operator. Yes or no? So here if the condition is true, this part will be executed. If it is false, false means this part will be executed, right? So equal to 1, no, it is false. So your printf statement failed will be printed. Is that clear? Just to show that I can also use your enumerators in a functions. Is that clear? So here I have a function. The function can also return an enumerator, right? So enum state, it is going to return an enumerator of type state, right? And then I can apply some operations inside my function, right? Now we'll see what is the difference between enums and macros. You don't know about macros. In 5th unit only you have got macros. But anyway, I'll tell you what are all the differences. This is a macro. Hash include anything that starts with hash, you are going to call it as a macro. So here I am defining the variable for macro. So hash define. For macro, you need to write it separately. For how many variables? If I have 7 days in a week, then I have to write hash define Monday, hash define Sunday, hash define Tuesday, right? But here I cannot write it separately in my enum. Just one statement is enough to give the values to my days, right? Or to give any characters. If I want to give values, I can do it in a single statement, right? So these are all the advantages. So enum follows scope rules, right? Yes or no? I cannot have same enumerator for both the things. And enum variables are automatically assigned values. Here it will not automatically assigns. You need to specify the value here. But in enum, it automatically assigns the value 0, 1, 2. And here I can write it in one single statement, but here I need to write it separately all the statements, right? So what is enum? It's nothing but an user defined one where I can give the integral constant to the names. This is a name, I am giving the integral constant, right? And what is a keyword that is used to define your enumerator? Enum is nothing but a keyword used to define your enumerator. So here is a enum is a keyword. This is a variable name, and here I have an enumeration list. And here the compiler will automatically take the value starting from 0. If you are not specifying, it will take the value. But you can also specify your own value, and it is not necessary that I have to start only from 0. I can start from any value. And in between also I can change the values. I can assign some other value. So automatically it takes the new value from that position, right? Here I can declare a variable, and this variable I can assign any names from the enumeration list. So that name will be automatically assigned the value. That is what we have seen here. So here I have declared enum weekday. I have declared a variable, enumeration variable, and day equal to wed. Here I have assigned the enumerator from here, and the value wed, that is going to be 2, will be printed. If you want day equal to month, then 0 will be printed, right? And we have seen some of the points, right? And what is the difference here? It follows the scope rules, and it automatically assigns the value starting from 0. Right? So you need not write it separately each and every line. Right? This is a main advantage of your enumerator. Right? Next we'll move on to another topic, structures. Just I'll give you an introduction today, and then we'll move in detail tomorrow. Right? Now, what is a structure? See, already we have seen array. What is an array? Array is going to be a collection of, I already told you, array is going to be a collection of homogeneous data items, right? Homogeneous means what? It is going to be an items of same type. Now suppose what is a drawback you have in array is you can store only integers, you can store only float, you can store only characters, you can store only strings. We have seen strings also, right? Strings, right? If I want to store a student name and roll number, then I cannot go for using an array. right? So we can go for another user defined data type called structure, right? So what is this structure? So structure is going to be a collection of different variables under a single name. Like array also you've got a single name, right? Structure is also going to have one name, but here all the elements is going to be of different types. So I can call it as structure is a collection of heterogeneous data items. Is that clear? Right. Structure is used to represent record. So when I have different elements, all these I can put it under one name. For example, if I want to store a student details, I have name, roll number, age, and I've got the marks, right? So all these are going to be the different elements, but I can able to get some information from all these elements. Yes or no? So by one record I can able to know what is the name, roll number, what are the marks, what is an age, everything I can able to understand. So I can call the structures nothing but used to represent the record, right? Now structure is a convenient way of grouping together several pieces of related information. Yes or no? Name is one data, ID is one data. Now I'm combining all these data to form one related information. I can have so many structures also together. We'll see when we move on to the structures in detail, right? Right. So only thing you need to remember is structure is going to be a collection of heterogeneous data elements. Is that clear? Right. Now we'll see the syntax how to declare a structure. Struct is a keyword, right? And this is going to be the tag name. Don't worry about this less than symbol. That is to mention that it is a like you need to have a name here, right? So struct, here the name of the structure, right, is an optional one, and then I need to have a curly braces. Now inside I am going to have the data type and the member name, right? So here I need to have, for example, if I want to have a roll number, I will write int roll number, and then char name, and then I have float marks m1 m2 m3 like this, right? And after this curly braces, what are all the variables I've got here? I'm going to call it as a structure variables, right? And this has to be terminated with a semicolon. If you want, you can write the structure variables here. If it not, you can just close it with semicolon here, right? Now these are also called as in structure variables, or also known as an instance variables, right? Right. Now these variables are going to be of type structure, and what is the name of the structure? Whatever the name you are giving here, that is the name of the structure, right? So right, like all data types, your structure must be declared and defined. Yes or no? If I want to use A, then I need to declare my A, then only I can define. What is declaration? Int A is nothing but a declaration. And then if I write int A equal to 10, then you call that to be your definition, right? Right. So what are the different ways by which I can declare or define a structure, right? So first one is going to be a variable structure. Next is tagged. Next one is type defined structure. We'll see one by one, right? Don't worry about all these things. This is for your understanding. Suppose if they ask you write about the structure in detail, then you need to write all these points for 16 mark, right? Now, variable structure, that means, see here, if I am not specifying the tag name, then that you are going to call it as a variable structure type. So I can also write without my name, right? So struct without the name, and then I have my members, and then I have the variables. For example, you see here I have not mentioned the name. So struct, I have opened the curly braces, int A character B. So I have got two different types under my structure, right? So this you will call it to be a variable structure, and S1 is going to be my variable. So how you will write? In general, you will write int marks. So you will call marks is going to be of type integer. So here also I am going to write struct S1. So this S1 is going to be of type structure. Mark is an integer variable. Here S1 is going to be an variable of type structure. Clear? Next we will see what is a tagged. Tagged means what? For everything I have got some name. So for structure also I am giving some name. Right? So here I have member list. Here I have the variable identifier. And here at the end I should have a semicolon. Right? So let us see. So this is a tagged structure. So struct book int b number character b name. So here these are all going to be my variables. Right? If I want to declare this variable inside the main, then I can write it as what? If I want to declare it separately, then I can do it struct book and then I can write S1 comma S2. Is that clear? Either I can write S1 comma S2 here, or else in the next line I can write what? Struct book S1 S2. So this is the name I have given for the structure, and these are all going to be my variables. Now here I don't have a name, but here I have a name. Is that clear? That is the difference. Tag means what? I am going to give some name for my particular thing. Right? Next we will see what is type def. Right? Type def means it's nothing but a keyword that allows the programmer to create a new data type name for an existing data type. Here I am not going to specify or create any new data type. Is that clear? I am going to give the name for an existing data type. That name I can use it wherever I want. Right? So no new data type is produced, but an alternate name is given to a known data type. When we move on to the example, you can understand. Right? So this is going to be the syntax here. Type def. Here this is an existing data type and this is going to be my new data type. Right? Now it does not occupy any storage. That it will tell you that I have got one thing of type this. Right? So it defines a new type. That's all. It can be placed anywhere in a C program as long as they come prior to their first use in the code. So whenever I want to use something, before that I can use this type def and I can define. Right? So now if I have type def int id number, then instead of writing int, I can use this id number to declare my integer variables. Is that clear? So this is a new name I have given for int. Generally you will write what? Int a. Then what is the meaning of that? A is going to be an int of type integer, right? But here I have defining the new type. But with an existing type only I am defining the new name for my existing type. So type def int id number means wherever I want to use int, I can use this id underscore number. Clear? So whenever I want to declare the variables, right, I can use id underscore number and I can use all these things. Right? A, B, C. If you want, I can use A, B, C. So all these variables of type int. Is that clear? So here I need not use my int. If you feel that int is confusing, I want to have it as my own name, then I can use like this. Right? So here also in structure I can create a structure type and I can use it. Right? So I am giving some name. Right? So type def structure, you already know this is a tag name, right? Structure name, and I have two things int x and y as my members inside my structure, and this is going to be my structure variable, right? This is not a variable, this I am telling you this is a type def. So I will write p1 left comma right. So wherever I want to use this struct, I need not use the keyword struct here. I can generally use this p1 and I can write left comma right. There when you see we have used struct. It's a keyword to mention that S1 is of type structure variable. Here also what we have used? S1 and S2 are structure variables of type structure. The name of the structure is going to be book. Right? But here I have not used anyone called structure. Because I have type def. I have created a new name for my struct. So with that name I can go for creating the variables. Is that clear? Right. So whenever I am using type def, no need to write this name, because I am not going to use this name anymore. I am going to use only this for creating my structure variables, right? So that is what given here, right? We'll see some of the points to be noted related to your structure, right? And then we'll move on to the programs, right? Where I should declare my structure. Int A, we will declare it inside the main, right? That means A is going to be local within the main. The proper place where you can declare your structure is outside the main, so that if you call any function and that function is going to use your structure, then it will be difficult, right? If you declare it inside the main program. So the proper place for declaring your structure is outside the main program, right? And you cannot possible to compare your structures. I cannot use any arithmetic operations on my structure, and I cannot use equal to, not equal to, all these things, right? Right. Now we'll see how to access the member of a structure. In array, how will you access your array elements? You use an index A of 0. What is A of 0? Refers to the 0th element in an array. So you need have some method to access an element, because in array I've got more than one element, right? So how to access all these elements? So what is the structure you have is structure variable. The syntax is structure variable dot the member name. So suppose if in the example, if you have struct sample, the sample is going to be the name of the structure. Here I have three variables A, B, C, and these are all member variables, and this is going to be the structure variable, right? S1, S2. So if I want, I can, how to access the member A? I can write it as S1 dot A. A belongs to the structure S1, and here B belongs to the structure S1. If I want to write it A under S2, then I have to write it separately. S2 dot A. Similarly, I have to write S2 dot B. This is A and B are related only to the structure S2. Is that clear? I have separate copies, right? Now, if I want to print it, how I am going to print it is like a normal scanf and printf. I can use my structure. This is accessing the members. How I am going to access the A present inside the structure? Structure variable dot A, right? If I have 10 structure variables, then I need to access S1 dot A, right? So how to read the value into this A? The same scanf percentage. Since it is an int, I have used percentage %d ampersand S1 dot C. Right, so for S1 I am going to read the C value, right? For printing also I can use the same percentage %d, and whatever the value I want to print it, that particular variable and under which structure variable it is present, right? A is a member. Which structure variable I want to print it? So S1 dot A. If I want to print S2, then I need to write S2 dot A. Is that clear? So each member of a structure can be used just like a normal variable, but only thing is I need to have a big thing here. Is that clear? Generally you will write A equal to 50, but here the A is present where? It is present inside the structure. So I need to write the structure variable dot that particular A. Clear? Now, initialization of structures. How I can initialize my structures, right? A structure can be initialized in much the same way as any other data type. So I can initialize like how we do the initialization, right? Right. If not explicitly initialized, then by default the members are initialized by the system. So here I have not used any initialization. So it automatically initializes the value. Int equal to A, float equal to 0.0, char means null, string means null, right? So here we'll see Struck is a keyword, sample is going to be the tag name, and these are all going to be my members, and S1 and S2 are going to be my structure variables. Now how to assign the values here? Here I can assign the values. Struct sample S1 is equal to. Is that clear? Equal to. So what are all the values I can have for integer A, float and null? Is that clear? Now when you see here struct sample S2, here I have given only 2 value. I have not given 1 value for character. So whatever the value you have given, that values will be initialized. The remaining value will be automatically done by the compiler. So if you are not initializing for all values, then you call that to be partial initialization, right? The remaining values will be initialized by the compilers. Is that clear? Right. We'll see one small program related to the structure, right? And then we'll move on to the other things, right? Hash include stdio.h. For structure and all, you need not include anything in a header file. So hash include string.h. Since I am going to use a string function, I need to have string.h. And then I am going to declare the structure outside the main, right? So struct books, right? So char, here I am going to have so many things, char and int, right? So character array, character array, character array, and then I am going to have an integer. S1 and S2 are going to be the structure variables, right? Int main. So here I am going to declare one more variable for books, struct book S3. So I can also declare the structure variable inside the main, no problem. If you want to declare it outside, this can be used by the functions, that's all. Now this is a program for structures. I have written program for structures. Now I need to assign some values to all these things. Instead of getting the input from the user, I have used string copy here. String copy is used to copy what? From the source to destination. So here where I have to copy the title under the structure variable S1. So S1 dot title. Here just I cannot write title. Why? Because this title is present under which variable? S1. So S1 dot title. Similarly S1 dot author, S1 dot subject, S1 dot book ID. Book ID is going to be an integer, so I can directly write S1 dot book ID. Already I told you how to access the member. How to access the member? Structure variable dot operator and then followed by the member name equal to the value, right? Now here I cannot directly assign the value. That is a compilation error. Here I cannot write int book ID equal to 100. That is wrong. Is that clear? So I have to write like this. And then similarly for S2 also I have given some values here. So S2 dot book ID equal to 102. Right? Now S3. For S3 what I have done is S3 equal to S2. Now I can assign one structure to another structure. That is possible. I can copy the structure of one variable. I can copy one structure variable to another structure variable of the same type. Here both the variables are going to be of type books. So I can do the copy operation. Now here I am printing the details. How I am printing is just a percentage yes. Already I told you, you can print the members of the structure by just using the printf statement, like how you do the normal variables. Here this is nothing but a character array, so I have used percentages. Here also percentages, and this is going to be my percentage d. I want to print my S1 title, so I have used S1 dot title, S1 dot author, S1 dot subject, S1 dot book ID. Similarly for S2 and similarly for S3. Now in S3 I have got the same value as my S2. Is that clear? Right. The structure can be assigned to another structure of the same type. That is what we have done here. S3 equal to S2. Both the things are going to be of type books. No other operators or arithmetic, logical or relational operators can be used with a structure variable. I cannot do addition, I cannot do multiplication, or I cannot compare, I cannot check not equal to, nothing I can do. If you want to compare the structure, then I have to compare member by member. I cannot compare S3 equal to S2 or S3 not equal to S2. That I cannot do it. I have to compare member by member in case of your comparison. Is that clear? Remaining operations I cannot do it on the structure. Right? We'll see from the beginning what is a structure. Just a recap. So what is a structure? Structure is nothing but a collection of heterogeneous data elements. So whereas array is going to be the collection of homogeneous elements, whereas structure is going to be a collection of heterogeneous. So I have different data types, and I can also call a structure to be a record. Since I can able to relate so many information, I can put it under a structure. And what is a keyword to represent a structure? Struct is a keyword followed by the name for your structure, and then curly braces. I have my members, and then a curly braces. If you want, I can have my structure variables listed by comma separated. At the end I should have a semicolon. If you want, you can declare your structure variables here. If not, you need not declare your structure variables here. Right? Now we have seen how to declare your structure. So without the tag name, with the tag name is not going to make any difference. But if you want to understand it better, for example, if I have two structures, what structure I am referring? So in that case, this tag name helps you to understand. So if I have struct book, for example, book means, then I know that I have created a structure for book. So another thing, if I have a struct student, then from that I can able to understand which structure I am referring, right? For that only you have got a tag name, right? And type def means you can create, you can give the name for your structure, right? So type def is nothing but giving a new name for your existing data type. So struct is a data type, user defined data type available. For that I am giving some name. So I need not use the keyword struct whenever I am defining the structure, declaring the structure, right? So here in type def int some name means this name I can use it whenever I want to declare an integer variable, right? So here that we have seen how to declare or how to use it in case of your structure. So type def struct the name. Here no need of name because this itself will act as a name. So this is a name I am using to declare my structure variables because I have used here type def. I need not use struct keyword here. Is that clear? Right. And then what are all the points you have got and where you need to declare the structure? I need to declare the structure outside the main so that my functions can also use the structure variables, right? Structure. And I cannot do any operations on my structure, right? So how to access the member? The member of the structure can be accessed by the following syntax. What is the syntax you have? Structure variable dot followed by the member name. This is the syntax. So instead of writing A, I am going to write where this A is present. This is present inside my structure variable. So I will write s1.a. Clear? And in printf and scanf I can use it like a normal variable, right? So in all places I can use this A, B and all normally, but I should not be confused which A I am referring. For that I am using s1.a, s1.b. Clear? The structure variable dot the member name, right? And how to initialize? I can initialize by like this. If you are not initializing, your compiler will automatically assigns the values to your members, right? And here I cannot do like this. Here I cannot write like this. Struct sample this is wrong. This is completely wrong. This type of initialization is not possible. Is that clear? This is an error. If you want, I can initialize separately like this, right? Now and then we have seen one small program, right? What is the program? Here I have just got all the values for my members and I printed. I can copy the one structure to another structure variable to another structure variable, but both variables should be of the same type. So here I have created S3 and I have copied S2 to S3 and I have printed the value, right? Thank you, students.